Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Ananda Alif Ramadani. I am Urban Planning Student 2020 in Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Jember. Okay friends, this video is made for my assignment, who fill the abstract of the article. The title is Slavetuation in Bangladesh and Euro, Promoting Decent Work. Workers producing garments in developing countries for European brands are often described as slavetuation. They are denied decent work, a core ILO objective and UN Sustainable Development Goal or SDG. Instead, they are employed in unsafe factories prone to frequent deadly fire or building collapse, subject to anti-union discrimination and violence. The deprivation of their labor rights and a poor working condition might lead to the conclusion that they are in fact modern slaves. And this modern slavery is filling the garment supply chain, which is, in turn, propelled forward by the fast fashion demands of European consumers. Modern slavery within supply chain can be tackled by brands and retail. Typically, those seen as responsible for such abuse, and it can be tackled through trade and development policies by actors such as the European Union. In Bangladesh, the Europe is the country's largest trading partner in garment, and it has considerable leverage to improve labor rights, in doing so tackling modern slavery in the supply chain. Utilizing trade conditionality. The Europe has to delay abolish, focus on tackling modern slavery in its external relation. But with the adoption of the UN SDG, and which combine elimination of modern slavery with decent work, there is scope for bringing about long-standing change. This paper argues for more normative interconnection between decent work and modern slavery in both national and Europe external relation places. The garment industry has been associated with freeing scales of labor exploitation for centuries. The Industrial Revolution in Europe represents a passful to the brim of the instances of child labor and fatal incident. Globalization brought about trade networks that accelerate outsourcing of garment production to cheap, low-cost production locations, typically in Asian developing countries. It results in the global garment supply chain split into different segments of process covering raw materials, the making up the garment and delivery to the final consumer. Each of these stages takes place in the different contexts. Whether this be country location factory or a subcontracted factory. The demand for action after the Rana Plaza factory collapse present an opportunity for measures to be taken by the Europe and other global actors to address the issues of modern slavery in garment supply chain and design methods to eliminate slavery. Within this, eliminating modern slavery needs to be seen as a text for labor law in achieving the decent work objective. failure to acknowledge modern slavery's relationship with decent work at the opposite ends of the spectrum ignores the complexities of the issues it presents and its role within current global supply chain. Tackling modern slavery requires interconnectedness between criminal law and labor law initiatives at global, regional, and national level. It is evident that modern slavery exists in Bangladesh garment industry and arises from, or is undetected because of, serious and systematic labor rights violation. Garment workers are not always modern slaves, but they are always an exploited workforce. The term modern slavery should not be applied loosely to the industry. Attributing responsibility from modern slavery in the supply chain is not easy feat. There is a focus on brands and retail as the most prominent player in the global garment supply chain. Yet it cannot be forgotten that the euro has a role as the largest market for Bangladesh garment, and a normative actor with responsibility under its treaties to use trade and development policies for the improvement of labor rights and elimination of modern slavery. The euro has not, however, pursued that elimination of modern slavery as a specific objective in its external relation, instead acknowledging the need to address practices like forced labor, child labor, and trafficking. As the euro increasingly adapts to the sustainable development framework and adopts legislative measures relevant to the fight against modern slavery, it should aim towards further engagement with brands and retail. Trade conditionality is integral to the euro's response to human rights violation. The GSP-EBA is conditional on next convention, but it could go further, acknowledging the divisional aspect from modern slavery and the Slavery Convention in its list of convention for negative conditionality. Conditionality is rule exercised by the euro, and there are hurdles to overcome in its use. Modern slavery would need to be identified as beating the euro's threshold of civil rights, and it must take account that negative conditionality can harm the population, a factor that favors cooperation and dialogue over sanction. The euro took the approach of deep engagement in the Bangladesh conflict, whilst it did not include modern slavery as an issue to be pursued by the government. It represents an industry-specific and country-specific method of implementing its objective on responsible business conduct. Not only this, but its multi-stakeholder nature grants it legitimacy and political weight. The compact provides an example of how euro trade and development policies can lead to effective engagement. The essence of the effective euro approach on design work externally must involve action targeted at the elimination of modern slavery. Okay, thank you for your attention. See you on the next video. Bye.